Sound good. All right, thank you, Metarog. Yeah, I guess we'll figure this out for next time. Let me know in the live chat if we're actually live because according to my monitor here, I'm delayed by like 30 seconds. And so if I'm delayed responding to you, that would be why. All right, so here we are. Hi, I'm Johnny. This is Comics Altruism, and we're doing things a little differently tonight. It's a live stream, and I'm showing off some unboxings for prizes that I've won. And as I may have mentioned before, anything that I win in a prize, 100% of final sale goes to the charity of the month. So instead of what I would normally do, which is my whole calculations to figure out how much I paid for a given item and then everything off the top is what goes to charity, all of this goes to charity. Or at least for the first two packages here. So the first one, High Road Comics had a contest where he wanted a different name because he was having some difficulty with a website, and they were using his name after the fact. Like he had already established himself, but they started up this website, and I think they're selling stuff, and apparently it's really shady. So he just wanted a different handle for himself, and I gave a suggestion. He didn't go with it. High Road Comics is way better. So this gift is from him. I happened to win that contest. And yeah, it was a chore getting it because I gave him a US mailing address because I knew I would have access to it. And yeah, so what ended up happening was my mother-in-law had to go down and get them for me because she's a dual citizen, so she goes down there every day to work. But yeah, things got a little convoluted. So I finally got it along with Take the Time Collectibles prize. And here, I'll just show you what I got from High Road Comics first. And it's a 6-issue set of The Dark Tower by Stephen King. And luckily, these are in reverse. I got my wife to box them back up for me because my mother-in-law had to unbox them at the border. So I got her to separate them out for me. So there's number 6. Number 4. Number 5. And I would normally be looking at my monitor to see which issues are which here, but unfortunately that's not an option. Oh, and here's the number 1. This is the creme de la creme here because it's got a signature down at the bottom from Jay Lee, which is awesome because with his Marvel Knights 20th, I was buying every single issue of the variants, and I didn't mind spending the extra money because they were gorgeous. If you didn't see them, go check them out. And number 2. So I'll be selling these as a lot. I'll probably get a hold of High Road Comics because I don't want to undersell this gift. Like if I put 6 issues of The Dark Tower, one signed by Jay Lee, $10. That might be really underselling it. Guaranteed sale, but I don't want to undermine his generosity. So the next one is from Take the Time Collectibles, and this is not in a box. This is the bag that my mother-in-law, which, by the way, thanks again, Terry. I doubt you're watching this even after the fact, but, just in case, thank you. So here's the bag they were in, that she put them in. And what he was doing, he's got a 100 subscriber contest, and all he's asking us to do is to donate to one of the charities that he has listed there. I chose Project Pinball because I figure it's a pretty important cause, and one of the ones I support here in southwestern Ontario is called, why am I drawing a blank? Camp Quality. And what they do there is they just provide an atmosphere for children to have fun and kind of interact with one another, enjoy little activities, because it's been proven that it helps to heal if a child, or anybody for that matter, is in a joyous state of mind. So I chose Project Pinball. He also asked us if one of the options was to give blood, and here in Canada we do that anyway, so worked out twice. And so here we'll go with Daredevil Man Without Fear, number 500. I'm going to have to look into all of these before I list them. Oh, before I continue, Pocan Joe's lot that I got from him, same thing applies there, 100% of final sale. I'll put in the description in the eBid store, which, yeah, I can see it's down there at the bottom of the screen. I'll put in the description for each of the items that is 100% of sale versus proceeds. just so you know. I'm wondering what this is. It's Age of Ultron, Book 10. Looks like it's in its original wrapper. Interesting. I'm just checking to see who's here. Give me one sec. Alright, we got Farley's Nerd Cave. Farley, I have not received your comics yet, but I know they're on the way. Oh, and there is one exception to that whole 100% of final sale thing, is that things like Pocan Joe's Pops that he sent me, or the Loot Crate that I'm getting from Farley. I'm thinking with the Loot Crate, I might do an unboxing for it, but I'm not going to actually keep it. I think I'll probably just donate it to a Goodwill toy drive or something, make some kid's Christmas, you know. Alright, Metarog's here, we know that. Comic Food 2814, hello. Mighty Comics Guy, nice to have you. Alright, I'm going to continue on here with Take the Time Collectibles stuff. Oh, we got another wrapped product here. It's issue 160 of, I guess, just straight up Spider-Man title. We've got Batman Superman number 8. Looks like a sketch cover. Awesome. Oh, yeah, definitely a sketch cover, because here's the regular. Haha. Alright, we've got an X-Men 244. That's the first appearance of Jubilee. Jazzed to have that in a far better condition than the one that I picked up in a lot that I haven't shown you yet. Should be pretty lucrative lot, but it probably won't be shown until mid-June, possibly July. Got Captain America number 34. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's an Alex Ross cover. Got Black Panther number 1 from the Marvel Knights series. Aha! Well, that's something. I already have one of these, but that'll make it quicker to list. Dark Knight Rises number 4. And as far as I know, there was only one printing of that book, and it goes for a pretty penny. It's, I want to say $25 list price in near mint, like a 9.4, and this one's looking like a minor corner ding, but I'm not going to show you. It'll probably be a 9.4. Wow. All right, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 1. Let's kick ass. Thank you, Brian, from Take the Time Collectibles. And we got New 52, Batman Superman number 1. I should probably tell everybody the reason some of these things take a while to list is because first I got to go through and grade them, and then I got to read them just to show my appreciation, because it's kind of like a pay it forward sort of thing. I prefer to read the stuff that I get. And then after grading, I have to scan them, and then I have to list them through eBid. And when you got a full-time job and, you know, family life, not that I have kids yet, but, you know, it's you got business going on. All right, so the next two, I have to specify right away. There are very few of these items are going to be going up for sale. The idea here was that White Whale Comics was having, or Comic Core was having 25% of final sale was going to the Hero Initiative. So I thought I'd take part in that as comics altruism, because it is an act of comics altruism on their part to have this auction. But that's the second box. First box here is White Whale Comics. He had 2 auctions. One of them might have been with Comic Core. I can't really remember now. But that was 25% of final sale was going to the Great Legends medical costs. And here in Canada, that's not something we normally think about. But it's atrocious how much you guys get charged for, you know, simple things like going to an emergency room. Like if I cut my hand off, I can go to any hospital, but you guys kind of have to pay attention to, you know, which ones accept your insurance, if you have insurance at all. It's an interesting system, but I'm not going to get political here. All right, so yeah, this, I was able to keep them separate and save a little bit of time by kind of semi-unboxing these before, just so that I wasn't wasting all your time. All right, so the first one, this was the one from... All right, so this was the one from Great Legends fundraiser. Not that he was in charge, but you know what I mean. All right, so we've got a secret comic variant of Deadpool here. That's pretty cool. And then we've got, this is what made me bid, was Circle Chase #1. Then we've got X-Force #2. I think that's the second appearance of Deadpool, if I'm not mistaken. Might be third appearance, either way. And then we've got another one of those variant comics. This is #3. Also very cool. And then he gave me this because apparently Alec does not like Deceased. So he gave it to me for free. So this one is going up for sale. 100% of sale goes to Charity of the Month. And then, because I have 2 copies of this now, this one's going up for sale too. I'm going to have to take a look at how much I paid for this entire lot and see if maybe I should charge a couple bucks just for this. But you know what? It'll still be going to a good cause eventually. And then this second lot was, because shipping is so expensive from the United States to Canada, I attended his second auction, and it was White Whale, and there were a couple others in there. Again, can't remember. So it's a big Hulk lot. Not huge, but we've got Immortal Hulk, issue #16. We've got, this one's going up for sale too, because I didn't realize I had the Alex Ross cover for 16 when I bid for this. Not to say I wouldn't have bid for this lot otherwise, but I've got this going up in the store. We've got Incredible Hulk 456. I just kind of went by recognizing the covers. I didn't really research them when I was bidding, because you don't really have time for that. Then we've got Incredible Hulk 366. I like the color on that. Got 367. So I think I have to go back and get 364 and 5 to complete that run. Then we've got Hulk #3. I know that this is the first cover appearance of whatever that thing is. All right. And lastly, from that lot, we've got the final issue by Todd McFarlane. So that's pretty wicked. I've got a couple others in that lot I was just talking about with the first appearance of Jubilee. Got a couple others there. They're pretty low grade though, so don't, get your hopes up or anything. All right, so that takes care of White Whale. And thank you, White Whale, for taking part in those auctions, those charity auctions, because that's important work. And I'm really glad that with Bake the Snakes lot here, that I pre-unboxed, because this box had bubble wrap in the front and back, and it was like crazy glued shut. The adhesive was super strong, like NASA grade. Anyway, and then within that there was this box, which I cut open, and then within that it was wrapped again. And then this was underneath. And I'm assuming that this is the last of the whole Russian doll thing. That there's not going to be some kind of secret tesseract that I have to solve underneath it. But yeah, very well packed. At least I know everything was safe. And this I consider to be the big one. It cost a pretty penny, but I would say it was well worth it. I just want to show them off in proper order, because one of these books I'm going to be giving to a friend of mine. And Bob, I'm going to be talking about a teacher, but I'm not talking about you if you're watching this in replay. And I also don't want to show you the best ones first. Sorry, just give me a second to figure this out. Alright, we got a bunch of Emberlyn signed Amazing Spider-Man. So we'll start you off with number 366, number 363, jumping back to 346, 347. I'm just giving these a quick glance at their grades while I'm going through them, and I know that I definitely got my money's worth here. Got another Emberlyn signed 374. And then we've got, this isn't signed, but it's Venom #1, 4th printing. Oh, it is signed by Donny Cates. Awesome. He put a little note for me on the back. Thanks, Tommy. And then we've got Venom number 6. This is the Return of Eddie Brock issue. Again, with the note on the back. All right, then we've got, this is the big one. I'm not normally into CGC, but when it comes to certain books, I'm definitely considering this one. I'm noticing, actually, yeah, you were right. I think probably 9.6, 9.8 candidate. But yeah, this one here, we got signed by Begley himself. And apparently he doesn't do this for cheap anymore with the signatures. So I am considering, but I do have to talk to one of our local shops, not my LCS, but a different shop. I see on their walls that they've got just walls and walls of CGC graded stuff. So I'm going to go ask them what they charge to have me use their account or whatever, or whenever they make shipments. And we'll see. I might get that graded, and if I get it graded and it comes back as a 9.6 or a 9.8, I will put it up for sale just because it'll be worth it. All right. Next up, Marvel Team Up 141, right? I don't really have to say much more. And then the last one, this is the one that I'm considering. No, this is the one I'm going to give away because my buddy here in Ontario, we're having some issues with our premiere and some major cutbacks, and I'm not sure if his job is safe anymore. He's a teacher, like I already mentioned. Plus, he's got a kid. Plus, he's got another one on the way. And so he loves Spider-Man, and we talk about it every time that we meet, although it's not very often. He's actually my wife's best friend, but yeah, it's one thing that kind of connects us. This is the comic I'll be giving him for Christmas, or perhaps as a push present, because apparently you give presents to a pregnant woman when she gives birth or something. So if that's a thing, yeah, I'll be giving this to him as like a consolation prize, because I know he didn't put in a lot of work making that baby, but all the work comes after. So I feel that this is well deserved, and especially because I'm sure his comics addiction has fell to the wayside in recent times, not to mention the possibility of income being cut off. So despite the awkward beginning, I'd say that went all right. So thank you to Tommy from Bake the Snake for that last slot, Alec from White Whale Comics for the one before that, Take the Time Collectibles for your 100 subscriber giveaway, and anybody who hasn't entered that, I strongly suggest you do so. As you saw, he's not giving away cheap stuff. And lastly, to High Road Comics for that Gunslinger lot, or Dark Tower lot. Fantastic. I should probably make sure that I'm not leaving anybody out of the loop here if you had any questions. Oh yeah, and thanks Discovery Bay for promoting this 2 times in a row. It was really helpful. I have a strong feeling that everybody here is here for you. One last thing, I just noticed Epicurean Eye Relief joined the conversation. I wanted to check one thing, and I'm looking at whether or not this OBS app on my Mac works. And so we'll see. Yeah, I'll watch this after and we'll see if that came up. If that did come up, Epicurean Eye Relief, there's your answer to how to bring up your computer screen in a live stream. All right, so that's it. Thanks everybody for coming out. I tried to make it as quick as possible, but of course, you know me with the technical difficulties and so on. So here's hoping we don't have like an awkward closing where I'm trying to push a bunch of buttons and say goodnight at the same time. All right, thanks for coming out. Bye.